That, my friends, is East Coast bias, and that, my friends, is agenda setting.
And that is why Christian McCaffrey didn't win the Heisman.
Because no one's staying up past 6:30
to watch Christian McCaffrey do some Reggie Bush type shit, except for a white running back. Shout out to the Carolina Panthers. There you go, Keith. I got the mention in. You're welcome, even though you didn't ask for it.
Is Love better than Gearhart?
Who?
Is Love better than Gearhart?
Yeah. Love is actually good. He just tore his ACL.
So you think he'll be a second-round pick?
Hell no. He's going to be like a 7th-round pick.
Exactly. Gearhart was a second-round pick.
No, I said 7th, as in the last round of the draft. As in might not get drafted at all.
Yeah, but you're saying he's better than Gearhart.
Yeah. How many cats went in the 6th? Alfred Morris has had a pretty good career. How many people in the draft?
Did you really just say Alfred Morris had a pretty good career?
Has he not, compared to the people who went ahead of him?
Could we just say an average career? A solid career?
Bro, he rushed for like 16, almost 1,700
Words matter,
yards.
Kenny. You said pretty good, bro. Like, come on. I've never heard you describe Alfred Morris as pretty good at anything.
Where were you when I was actually championing the Redskins offense, the Deadskins offense?
I don't know.
RG3 and Alfred Morris.
It's probably late to class somewhere.
Exactly. By the way, shout out to RG3 for finally going to a barber. Hopefully somebody else on this podcast will follow the same and get a proper.
Hey, you can't even talk shit to me, bro.
Bro, I have a lineup and I have an afro.
Hold up, fan court. We're in session.
That's not fan court.
We are. We're in fan
this is fade court.
This is Frank court.
This is fade court.
This is Frank court.
This is fade court.
I'm putting you on trial right now.
This is Barbasol court.
The day before I go to Coachella, I hit this man. I'm like, yo, where can I get a haircut around the South Bay?
Late at night.
I need a good haircut.
Late at night.
No.
At like 9:43 at night.
No, he's lying.
Okay, you sent it at 7, and I
texted him at 4:48.
Bro, you're not.
This man did not get back to me until 9:47. A full 5-hour block. So I know you had a break. I know you had a break sometime in that 5-hour block. You're lying,
bro.
You had a break.
Lying. I was at work.
I even texted him SOS, bro. I even hit him with the
you put SOS all in one text. That's not in a. First off, bro. You
and he didn't text me. He texted me back at 9:47, knowing all the shops around are closed.
In the break room.
No, I'm going to Coachella the next day, and he's like,
Lies.
"Yeah, go to this spot, go to that spot," and I was like, "Yeah, bro, you just fucked up my whole free agency recruitment.
I totally forgot.
You fucked up my whole barbership recruitment. Now, 1 and 2.
Didn't you find one?
Yeah, I had to support my people. I found the Paisa shop.
Whoa.
Shout out to the Paisa spot.
Okay. See how this is.
I
see how divisive this podcast is.
This was in Hawthorne. They used to be.
Yeah.
I guess they've been cutting hair for like 20 years, and they were at some spot in Inglewood for like 10 years. And the shop they were at was just charging them too much for rent. And
booth rent, the number one.
The whole place has too much for rent. So they were like, let's start our own thing. And so they had only been there for like a few days, which we have a call, but we can't hear it. You could try to answer it. Try it.
Hello, caller? Yeah, this is weird. This makes no sense.
Not this again.
Hello, caller? Yeah. Why does this always happen?
Man, we just been taking L's, bro. I feel bad.
Like a serious L. Like, I'm mad that I can't hear anything.
Hey, Ryan, if it's you, I'm really sorry, man. I know we've been trying to get this guy on for like 3 weeks. So, I'm really
Keith, don't say that sounds like a Kenny move. First off, I was at work. So, I didn't hear it.
That's what happens when you have an Android, folks.
First off, he undownloaded all the apps on his iPhone at Coachella.
So
Bro, I have like 75 apps
all
on
I'm
my
saying
phone.
is you can never talk shit to me about a barber because when I needed you, you weren't there.
Bro, how many barbers have I told? I'm gonna link you up with.
When I need you, you were not there.
No.
You cannot.
Nope.
Because you say no because I just took away half a stitch. Like, that's all he ever clowns me about is my hair.
No, that's not half of it. That's honestly like
80%.
That's a quarter of it, which is about a quarter of what.
All right, try to figure out how we can get sound on this so we get Ryan on. Because I feel bad. He's a Cardinals insider, FPC radio, FPC blogger,
Use
managing editor. Sorry. And he's also I think he's also a wrestling podcast. There we go.
Oh, fine. Oh my God.
Answer.
Hello, caller. Sorry about the delay. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Ryan calling from Arizona.
Hey Ryan, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How about you guys tonight?
Good. Glad we could finally get you on, man. Thanks for being patient and flexible with us.
Especially in that weather, because Arizona, yeah, man. I feel your pain out there in Arizona. It's like 120 right now, isn't it?
It was about 93 today, so we're getting there.
Okay, all right, that's not bad. That's livable.
Hey,
it's a lot better than August, yeah.
Oh God, oh man.
Aren't you? I think I read on your bio you're originally from Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I'm from Hawaii. Moved here almost 7 years ago now. August makes 7 years.
What's that culture shock like?
You know, I've traveled a lot, going to like the West Coast and even the East Coast. But coming here to the biggest change was the heat.
Yeah.
When I first got to Arizona, I was walking to my dorm room, and I was actually walking along a paved sidewalk outdoors, and it was about 120 degrees, and it melted my suitcase tires.
Wow, that's wild. So what's the thing that you could get, like food or like just culture wise in Hawaii that you can't get in Arizona? What do you miss the most?
Oh, actually, that's really a funny one. I just took my fiance and my daughter to Hawaii for the first time, and I told my fiance for the last few years, when you go to Hawaii, we're going to take you to McDonald's, and you're going to see some things there that you're not going to see anywhere else. And we have like these rice plates, and it's rice with like Spam and eggs.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
And that's available 24 hours at McDonald's.
Wow. That sounds like something your grandma makes you. That sounds fire.
Exactly, yeah.
But, all right, man, so we brought you on because obviously you're a FPC Cardinals podcast managing editor. And so we just want to know more about the Cardinals draft situation since they do have the number one pick. I think the latest news is now that Kyler might not be the guy. Do you buy that?
Frankly, I don't. Yeah. And the main reason just kind of comes down to the fact that the one thing that Steve Keim is known for is that no one really knows what he's going to do until it happens. The head says everyone, and when I say everyone, I mean 75% of the fan base here in Arizona say that it should be Nick Bosa. It should be Bosa all the way. We shouldn't even be thinking about Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Then there's the other part of the fan base that says, well, Kyler Murray is a special talent. Let's go with him. Our new coach loves him. I don't think it's going to be Kyler Murray, and that's really just because it comes down to, do you really want to spend consecutive first-round draft picks on quarterbacks?
If they do that, how far do you think that sets them back? Especially because they traded up to get Rosen.
If a lot of it comes down to how well it works out if they do select Murray. If Murray comes out and he's another Russell Wilson or he's a Drew Brees or someone like that, if he can play well and win games, then obviously it's a great thing. If they miss and he's just an average quarterback, the fact that you've ignored issues with your wide receiver core, your offensive line, pretty much most of the defense as well, that's another 5 to 7 years. That's going to set them back quite a bit.
Yeah, that's just crazy. So as a Cardinals, fan and expert, like, how do you look back on last year considering, the coach was a one-off basically, and now Rosen may or may not be a one-off, but How do you look at last year?
Last year is kind of this. You want to hope that it's an aberration. It's just something that happens once in a while to every franchise. But looking at what they did last year in the offseason, you bring in this new head coach who's a defensive-minded guy. You don't bring in any real assets to him defensively to really follow his scheme, his change to a 4-3. You bring in a terrible offensive coordinator, then you really just do nothing as far as bringing in quality offensive linemen. You just ignore a lot of your holes, and then you have this bad season and blame it solely, seemingly, on your coaching staff. When anyone that watched the games will see that they were in a lot of the games, regardless of the fact that you had, some bad coaching and also some bad players, and you kind of want to point the finger at the people who make the decisions. And, maybe I'm naive in thinking this, but the decisions came down to Steve Keim, and the fact that he's here still, and Steve Wilkes is not, is I will continue to beat that drum that it's a little BS. But aside from that, it's one of those things where you honestly just hope for the future and hope that maybe they'll get this right. Maybe the fire is lit underneath Steve Keim now. And at the very least, if they fail miserably this year, he's gone. So that's a little silver lining we have.
But with that, you say the consensus is Bosa, but if you really stack them up to other players in the draft like a Josh Allen or a Quinnen Williams, when was the last time Arizona had a dominant interior defensive lineman, like D tackle?
The closest I could think of would be like Darnell Dockett when he came out of Florida State.
Yeah.
They've had some decent, some talented defensive linemen. The key is that, they're running a 3-4 again. And when they had a guy like Calais Campbell, who, for all intents and purposes, when you're looking at a 4-3 defensive tackle, he's perfect. He can really move the pile and get great penetration. But when you got rid of Calais Campbell and Darnell Dockett, basically left because he was just a little bit past his prime, they've been searching for that next great player. You have Chandler Jones, but he, let's be honest, is an outside linebacker who can rush the passer very well. Personally, I am a big fan of Quinnen Williams. He's actually number one player on my imaginary draft board there, but he would be the guy that I would really prefer. Bosa is in really the top 5, but I wouldn't even put him in my top 3. But as far as what needs are, you got to get the pass rusher. You need a defensive lineman regardless of whether or not it's going to be Bosa or Williams, because the defense itself, while there's some talent there, no one's younger than 27. So that's really a big kind of scary monster that's kind of looming in the shadows right now.
And also you have like Hassan Riddick, high draft pick. People still waiting for, what's going to happen with him. At one point, everybody thought Dayon Buchanan was going to be a fixture, but
even Buda Baker is like falling out of favor.
And they recently signed Robert Alford at corner. So where would you say in the draft, at least for Arizona, if let's say they don't take Bosa, they don't take Williams, they have like a Josh Allen, they have a Montez Sweat, there's a Ed Oliver, or even Devin White, what surprise pick do you see if they don't take, Bosa or Kyler Murray?
If they don't take someone like that, then I'll be honest, if it's not one of those two guys, and maybe even throwing in Quinnen Williams, if it's not one of those three, then that draft pick better have been traded to someone else.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. At that point, you got to trade back. If you're considering one of those guys, at that point, you're probably trading back to 4 or 5.
Yeah, if I've done a few, I've played with different mock draft systems and taking a look at who might be available in later rounds. But when it comes to that first pick, if we're staying at 1, or if the Cardinals are staying at 1, then it comes down to you're either picking Kyler Murray, Nick Bosa, and maybe Quinnen Williams is on that list. But if anything, if not those 3 guys, then you better move out of that pick.
So, are there any other players you really want in the middle to late rounds? Any guys you're